So it's cold and dark outside, and I figured it's a good time to fix my side mirror. It's a little bit loose, and it doesn't matter which position I put it in, it always ends up going like that when I'm driving down the road. And the two little screws in there are tightened right up, so I figure some plastic bit in there broke, and it's probably a good job for the plastic welder. So I'm going to take it apart and see if I can fix it. These are manual mirrors. It's got the little knob inside. These aren't the power mirrors. Side mirror is held on by 3 little screws going up from the bottom. You need a T20 Torx to remove them. Even though I didn't remove the screws, I can pop my side mirror off. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I'll have to take a look and see what's happening. So I took those 3 bolts out of the bottom there, and they're connected to this base plate. But that's not the problem. The mirror comes right off of that shaft. And it looks like there's a snap ring in there. A snap ring in there and some kind of washer that fastened to the top of that shaft that it popped off, and that's the reason why the mirror is loose and just sitting on there. So yeah, I'll take that one bolt off and see if I can repair it from there. And that's a T20 Torx also. I removed that one bolt that was holding the assembly into the plastic case. So it's loose and it's moving in there. The only problem is the mirror is in the way. So if I have any hope of getting that collar back on, I gotta remove the side mirror. It should just pop off. There's no other way for it to go on and come off. They usually just pop off. My camera went dead, but it popped off. You can see it's partially off, almost off. Well, my camera went dead again, but there, it's off. It just snaps on and off. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 snaps on the back. And then there's 2 more screws in there, so if I undo those, then I should be able to get those rings back on. So that's what popped off right there, those 2 rings. They should be sitting on the top of that shaft. It's the next day. It got too cold and dark. So if those 2 bolts are removed, so 1, 2, and then 3, the one at the back, this assembly should just slide out, and I should be able to put that collar back on there. It should come out with the assembly there and just slide down on those cables. What I think I'm going to do is take what's holding that on there. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. 3 little bolts I think are holding the bracket, the adjustable bracket for the mirror, because I don't know if I can get that out without breaking anything or stretching. Oh, maybe I can get it out. And those 3 small ones are a T10. And there we go. So there's the ring that popped off of that groove there. So the mirror must have got smoked really good, and then it just popped off. So I'm gonna go ahead and mount this pedestal back on there with the 3 bolts I took out originally because I didn't know how it went together, and then I'm gonna try to get this arm back on there and pop the snap ring back on and then put the mirror back on. There we go, back what I started with. And I forgot which way this thing goes now. Well, obviously it can only go this way because the spring goes on the top. And you got the clip after it, so it can only go on one way. And I don't know how I'm gonna compress that spring and get this spring clip to attach onto there. Yeah, definitely gonna need some kind of tool. Maybe a C-clamp and a socket. I don't know, we'll see what I got. I tried my valve spring compressor, that doesn't really work. I can't get it to go down far enough to get the clip on there. It compresses the spring just fine, but then the arm can't go past. So I got a piece of pipe. This is off of a old front end loader on a tractor. It's just a piece of pipe, but it had a bolt going through it. And I ground out the one side a little bit bigger so it fits over top of those cables there to adjust the mirror. The inside diameter is 1 1/8 inch. I think that shaft is 1 inch. And I'm just gonna get a C-clamp and then just squish that together. I used to have a big pair of vice grips that probably would have worked great for that. You know, just clamp it together. But I'm going to use my C-clamp. I'm going to go grab that and then just crank her down. There we go, I got my clamp on there. It's probably not the best tool suited for doing that. I'm sure they have a specialty tool for fixing mirrors, but I don't have it, and I don't have the time to search online and wait for it to come in the mail, and I don't have the money for that. So I'm using my clamp. It's right tight against the door, but if I can get it to stay on there and squish those two together. I got the snap ring lined up. I got the washer lined up right below it. I got my cables coming out. They're not getting pinched. So all I got to do is tighten that up, and it should drive that, what do you call it, that washer clip right onto the shaft there and hook into the groove and hopefully stay together. Then I can shove my mirror back on, and my mirror is fixed. So I got the one side snapped down. In the end, I ended up just pushing it down. My clamp wasn't working too well. So I got one side of the ring snapped down. When I was using this thing as a lever, I could pull it out so I could get this side to snap down, but I couldn't push it in to get this other side to snap down. So I'm just gonna use my C-clamps and then just squish it here and hopefully get the other side of that clip to snap in. Okay, I'll try getting it on there again. So this time I'm going to do it the smart way. I was trying to clamp it the first time because I was worried if I pushed down on it too hard I'd break the mirror off. But it seems pretty sturdy, so I'm just going to push on it and try to get it to snap in. See how I got the top of the spring down past that angled line there? So there's the washer, there's the C-clip on the top, and that's down past the angled line there. And the bottom of that angled line is the top of the shaft, so I gotta go down a little bit farther. This side is probably down far enough, the outside edge has to go down a little bit. So I'll try pushing it down a little bit farther And then once I get this side locked in, I'll go with the screwdriver without unhooking it and try to push down this other side. So now that I got it down far enough, I'm going with the screwdriver on the outside edge, and I'm just pushing that clip down, making sure it's actually sticking in there. I think maybe my clip might be damaged because it's not staying down. So maybe I'll grab another screwdriver and do it one on one side, one on the other side. Oh, it's staying down there. Okay, moment of truth. Hopefully it stays on there now. Cool. If your mirror came loose and it's not holding its position, that's probably what happened to it, is that round clip came off. And you just got to compress that spring and push the clip back on. If the clip isn't holding on the shaft, you could try straightening out those little tongs on there. They're supposed to be facing down. Actually, no, they're supposed to be facing up. And then when you push the clip down, then they jam into the little groove around the edge of the shaft. And if they're not catching on there, you could rebuild that groove. Just go with the file and make that groove a little deeper so they have something to grab into. When this clip comes off and then you put it back on, try not to put it in the same spot it was sitting originally. Try rotate it a little bit. So just turn it a little bit and get it to sit in a different part of the groove. Less chance of it popping back off that way. Now just a matter of shoving the mirror back on. So just like that, I put the 3 screws in there, 2 in here, 1 in the bottom. The assembly to adjust the mirror goes back on. So I got the 2 screws in from the plastic body to the metal assembly there, but I can't get that 3rd one in until I move the mirror. So any way you look at it, I got to move it. So okay, I'll try in first. Oh, it's locked in place. Hey, it's working. But how do I get that last screw in it? It's right there. Oh, so what I gotta do is take that pedestal off. Okay. So once again, I'm gonna pull those 3 screws off on the bottom, and then I can put that last one in. Okay. Okay, there we go. I unscrewed the pedestal, and I can get that last screw in there. There, mirror fixed. Oh wait, most important part. Forgot the most important part. There. Mirror fixed.